Okay, so I have my PHP, my admin up. I created a database called Commerce Site. In my privileges, I have a username, Commerce Site, and it has global privileges. And I have SQL Workbench up. I've tried to make 2 connections, and I'm just not. I'm just having a hard time getting this connection with my database.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's see. You've got. I see in those 2 connections you have an IP address, and then you also have something called desktop.
That was from an SQL query from some little Stack Overflow searches. So
okay. So the goal here, you should be able to just use whatever MAMP settings are. So bring up MAMP
okay.
and go to the MAMP menu, or is it Tools? We're looking for the port number, I think it's called. It's under MAMP.
Okay.
The first menu.
Preferences, yeah.
Thank
okay.
you.
And go to ports. So the port number is important. So see the MySQL port number is 3306.
Yes, sir.
That's a very common port. I think it's probably the one that was from the very beginning when you installed it. So
yeah,
we just have to know what that one is. So it's 3306. So
okay.
We know that now. Let's go back and try to make a new connection on your MySQL Workbench. So go ahead and do a plus. Connection name, you can call it anything you want. Yep. The host name is set to the correct number. That's 20. That's good.
Okay.
That's also that's the same number as localhost. The port number you see is 3306.
Yeah.
Which is good. Okay.
Good.
And then commercial site is the name of the account that you set up for that, right?
The username, yes. Right. Let me close this, minimize. So right here, Commerce Site. That's the one I have like my own little password on, which I imagine would be right here.
Password. Okay. Yeah. So go ahead and what is it? Store default. I guess put it in there, whatever your password is.
Okay.
And go click test connection. Let's see what happens. Okay, this is good. It says it was successfully connected. Let's click OK then. So now you should be able to double click that, the third one. Yep.
Well, there you go.
And you are connected.
Okay.
Okay.
You know what it is? I kept changing the host. It was right there for me, defaulted correctly, and I kept changing it. So that's my fault.
Okay. Well, let's see if it works. I mean, once we're connected, that's just the first step. So, yeah, go ahead and.
All right. It's just driving me crazy.
Okay, so double click on the connection. Oh, okay, you're in. It looks like, yeah. So.
I'm in. I'm just reconnecting because I changed the name. I didn't want to have it messed up. That's a problem.
Right.
Good to go.
Okay, so now to Trevor's question is, how do we know if we're really connected?
Mm-hmm.
So we should be able to see some schemas, they're called. So on the left side, go about halfway down, right between the 2 windows, there's a little tab called schemas. So down, 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 there, up.
Oh, schemas.
Schemas,
Okay.
there you go. And so now the schemas let us see what we're connected to. So in this particular username that you created, it only has access to 1 schema.
Uh-huh.
So if you look way to the left, you can see in phpMyAdmin that you've got 5 schemas there.
Oh, okay.
But we're only allowed to see 1 of them because you set up the account to be database specific.
Oh, okay, yes, I did. Instead of just using the root user?
Exactly. If you use the root user, you would see all the schemas.
Was that kind of the proper, should that be what I be doing?
What you're doing is the right way. This is the most secure. You don't want to leave usually when you set up an app, you don't want to use root for anything because it has more access than it really needs.
Okay.
So what you did is good. Okay, so let's say if we wanted to populate this thing, we would create some tables. Have you done that before?
Not like this, no.
Okay, well let's go through the process. So if we wanted to create a table in this thing, let's go to I think it's File. Go to File menu and choose New Model.
New model.
And so the model is how to design a database. Now, right now it is set to MyDB. We don't like that. That's the wrong one. So how about if you right click on the tab MyDB and choose delete it.
Okay.
And we want to, how do we get the new, oh, I know how to do it. Go to the database menu at the top.
Here?
And, yep. And choose reverse engineer.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So what this will do, reverse engineer will look at an existing website and it will show you a map of all the tables that are there. All you have to do is click next now.
Wow.
And next. And select the one that you're going to work with and next. And finish, or next, I guess. And now finish. Execute.
Okay.
We done yet? Next again.
We're getting there. I get the idea.
Finish. Okay, so this is the page that I was trying to get us to. Do you see the catalog tree window on the left side shows we are connected to Commerce site, and there are no tables on your page.
Right.
So now let's create one. So there's a little table icon in this over in the in this column here. Keep going down. There. Okay, so click one. And just click on the screen somewhere, and it should create a new table.
Oh.
Okay, now double-click on the word table 1, and we can start to define it. So what do you want to put in your table? What is this for? Is this for users or?
Yeah, we're doing users login, so I would imagine we'll make the first one users.
Yeah, go ahead and call it users, and then below that, you can define the column names. So.
Okay. The first column name, I guess we'll just do. Well, they got to have an ID. I need a primary key, right?
Yep, that's right.
That's good. Not no is good. And shouldn't it auto increment? I think that'd be that one.
Yeah, that's correct.
I think that's it.
That's good. Everything, and you can leave it as ID users, or more frequently, you just put in the word ID as the word.
Okay. And caps probably makes sense.
Yep. Okay, and then the next guy is the first field. So maybe his username.
Username. Varchar is good, and then no. We always checking that.
We can. It doesn't have to be.
Okay.
And let's make how about a password? Yeah.
Probably an email or something.
Okay.
I'm getting extra on you right now. More fields than necessary.
Okay, well, that's good. That's good. Okay, so now. So now we've got ourselves the table defined. So you can close the tab at the, let's see.
I'll close,
just click there. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we've got ourselves a database. For some reason on my computer, Forward Engineer doesn't work. Maybe it's a Macintosh thing, but they both are options. So go ahead and choose Forward Engineer.
Okay.
And now what this is going to do is going to take the design that we just defined here, and it's going to apply it to our server. Because right now, if we were to go look at the MAMP database administration, we wouldn't see any of the changes yet. It would still be pretty much an empty database.
This is like our way of pushing the changes, right?
Exactly. Yeah, we're pushing the changes.
Okay. So I guess we just pop it here, and then.
Hey, Shad, just a heads up. There's another way that you can go about getting to the ER diagram.
Yeah.
If you go to File and you click New Model, remember where it came up and it said MyDB?
Yeah.
If you click on Add Diagram right above it, it actually takes you to the ER diagram.
Okay. Good.
All right. I guess we'll leave the defaults here. Export, yeah. This is the only thing I have. Oh, okay. This is like what I would have had to write, huh?
All right. So this is what you would have had to write. So scroll down a little bit. And all this is SQL statements, right?
Yeah.
I hope this works, because sometimes the version of SQL that it's writing here
Uh-huh.
it is newer than the whatever's on MAMP.
Mm.
And so
Okay.
if we get an error, it's because there's one statement in here that's maybe not completely compatible. We're going to try it out though, and go ahead and choose
Okay.
next and see what happens.
Is it the engine NODB?
You mean as far as the new statements?
Yeah, I just was guessing at which statement would not comply.
No, there's a statement in there that sometimes shows up, and I didn't see any problems, so it looks good. And it looks like it works. So now, yeah, just go ahead and refresh this, and
Oh, there it is.
we have a table called the users table. Perfect. And
How can I see? Oh, there's where I would see the. Okay, yeah, there's the fields.
right. Okay. So you have two options now. If you want to modify your database, you can use this tool here, or you can use MySQL Workbench. Either one.
I'm trying to learn the SQL Workbench. It seems very efficient.
Oh yeah, it's by far the better way to go.
Okay.
So-
deal then.
So let's go with your scheme. Let's. So you're saying now, how do you like have different tables, and how do you join them together? Really, that was your question.
Yes.
So let's say, what's our database going to be? It's going to be a store, right?
Right.
So in our store, we will probably want to have a bunch of orders.
Mm-hmm.
So we might as well make an orders table. So go ahead and make a new table.
Okay. Click. Double click. There I am. Orders. Everything needs a primary key.
Yep.
Is everything just going to be ID?
Yep.
Be the primary?
Yep.
Okay. We don't want it to be null. We want it to auto increment. And
Yeah.
then I guess like order number maybe?
So the order number is your ID. So let's just keep those the same.
Okay.
So when you look at an order, like you get an invoice from a company, usually the top, like the header of your page is what this order stuff would be. Like for instance, you might have a date.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe let's set the date, and instead of varchar, change that to something else. What are options for dates?
Right. Date time?
That
Is
looks
that the
good.
one that comes after 1976 or something like this?
I don't remember, but that one looks great. Let's go date time.
Okay.
Would it be date and time, the one with the parentheses?
Where's that at? Down? No, I think we'll.
Go back up.
Right here?
There, that one. Would we use that one?
I
Don't-
think this.
I don't actually know. I would say I would stick with the first 5. They look like the defaults that everyone is supposed to use. That would be my guess.
Oh, okay.
Stick with that. Not
And-
no anything.
So let's leave everything else. Now there's one more thing, and we're gonna let's go ahead and close this. And we haven't joined them together yet, but we're gonna do that next. So
Close there. Okay.
So we got these two tables, and they are unrelated. Now, if you look down where you just had your mouse a second ago, where those little dotted lines are,
Mm-hmm.
these are the relationships. So that one that you're pointing at right now is a good one to work with, where it says 1 to n.
Right. You can
We-
user
we-
have as many users as orders, right? And this is a composition relationship, maybe?
No, well, this is no longer related to the object-oriented programming. So
Oh.
don't try to conflate the two, even though they kind of look the same.
Okay.
So what we're thinking though in our database is that if you have a user and he's a regular customer, hopefully he has a lot of orders, right?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So the relationship is that there is going to be one customer to many orders.
Okay.
And the reverse should not be true. If you to think about it, can one order have many customers?
No.
No, that would be confusion.
Yes. We're not trying to add that functionality. We don't need to go there.
Yeah. And then,
More
and
data
then-
handling maybe, but we're not going there.
right. And then the other is that someone might say, well, should we do a one-to-one relationship because one order goes to one customer?
No, because it should be able to save orders or look at previous orders and things like that.
Yeah,
I think.
that is true, but it's not the right answer to the question.
Okay.
If you had a one-to-one relationship
Uh-huh.
and you said, I am a customer at Walmart, and you come back the second day and you say, I want to create a new order. They're going to say, you already have an order. Sorry, you can't be a customer a second time, you know?
All right.
So one-to-one doesn't match this kind of thing. It's a one-to-many. So what you're pointing at is the correct way. So go ahead and click that item. And I can never remember which one clicks first, but you click on one bar and then you click on the other. And you got it reversed, because right now it shows that there are like a little three, like a bird's crow's foot on the right side.
All right.
So it's saying right now, it says that each order has many customers. So just delete it.
Okay.
And then just select it and press delete on your keyboard. And let's do it the opposite way. So you click the other guy first and then the second one. Perfect. So now we have a relationship between the users and orders. And you can see that it created some new items in our table. The last line of each item has a new row. So go ahead and double click on orders and let's see what it did. So it created a new table row called users ID. Go ahead and select that users ID table. So it is now saying that is an integer. And if this is designed correctly, the user number in the users table will be the exact same value as the user's ID here.
Oh.
Also, you notice it's checked as not null, NN.
Yes.
So that means it is impossible to create an order with a blank customer name.
Okay.
Okay, so we've just created a foreign key.
That's what a foreign key is, huh?
Yeah. So go down to the very bottom, and there's a tab called Foreign Keys. And go ahead and scroll up above where the cursor is at right now.
Uh-huh.
There's a line that says FK orders users. Go ahead and click that. So this is telling us that the connection is now to the users table. So we have a foreign key to the users table, and it's also look over on the right side where it says foreign key options. It's set to no action.
On update, no action.
Okay, so this is important because let's say someday in the future you decide to delete a username, and the customer's been around for a while and they have lots of orders associated with them. It's not going to let you delete that customer because of this relationship. It's going to say, if you try to delete the customer, the user, and there are associated orders, it's going to refuse to work.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where it says undelete is set to no action.
Sure.
Let's set it to cascade.
Mm-hmm.
So now the action will be is if I delete the user, it will cascade to the orders table and it will automatically delete all the orders that have been created.
Oh, okay.
Let's set the other one update to cascade as well.
Okay.
Okay, so now we have a successful foreign key. Go ahead and close this.
Okay.
And let's update our database again. So go back to your forward engineer command.
All right.
And yep, go ahead and next. One more. Now let's look through here the schema, see what it's doing. So the script here tells us
Down here is where it's happening, right?
yeah, so we're gonna create a new table called orders, and it gives you the 3 rows. And now it's got something called constraints for us.
Mm-hmm.
And it's nice that we don't have to know any of these commands by memory because SQL Workbench just creates the code for us.
That's crazy. Yeah.
But you can see everything that we just looked at is there. It's got the foreign key associated with the user's ID, and as well those two different restrictions called onDelete cascade and onUpdate cascade are both there. Scroll up a little higher. There was a previous table. Notice it updated the users table to include orders ID.
Right. Oh, so you can reference either way. So if I can look in a users table with a SQL statement for their order ID. I can go both ways. Is that right?
This looks strange to me. I'm not sure why it has orders ID in here. I wonder if that's just because you accidentally created it earlier, because it's not supposed to have a foreign key the other direction. I wonder. Why don't you cancel this? Let's go back and look at the...
That got populated. That wasn't there before.
Yeah, it was auto-populated. So double-click the users table. Let's see if we can delete that. Just go ahead and press delete, or yeah, right-click.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead and close users table.
Okay.
So yeah, that's the correct way now. It should only have the foreign key in orders.
Okay.
I think this will work. Yeah. Let's try and forward engineer it. And let's look at the script again before you click anything.
Mm-hmm.
There we
So
go.
I just deleted that line. And everything else looks the same.
Yeah. Go ahead and
Go ahead.
next.
All right. Oh,
Okay, it says we have a problem.
one failed. One failed. What failed? So I gotta find the log here.
Scroll up in there. Maybe it'll
Oh, here we go.
check the manual. Yeah. Okay, here's the problem. See where it says visible?
Uh-huh.
It says you got a problem near the word visible. Where is visible? Okay, I see it down on...
If you click back, you'll see the code a little bit better.
Go ahead and click the back button, yeah.
Because I had to troubleshoot
Okay,
making my users.
so here's the problem. It says visible.
Right
Right.
here. Yeah.
So there's two ways to fix it. We could just delete the word visible and it'll work fine. However, it's going to occur again in the future. So let's fix the problem once and for all. Go ahead and cancel this.
Okay.
So the problem is the version number of SQL that SQL Workbench is using
Mm-hmm.
is not the same as what MAMP is using. So
Okay.
let's go figure out what those are. So let's switch back to MAMP first.
Okay.
And
MAMP.
yep,
Sorry. There we are.
and go to the MAMP. I think it's preferences again. Click on MySQL, and there's our version number.
Okay.
Okay, so we need to make a mental note. What was that? 57 something 42?
I got you.
5724.
5724. Good.
Does it matter what version of MAMP we're using?
Not necessarily. We just have to know that the version of SQL on MAMP is older than what is being run on MySQL
Good to go.
Workbench. Okay, so we got this number. Good. So now all we have to do is go find out where the version number is in MySQL Workbench and make it the same. So to find that, I think it's probably,
Find help.
there's going to be, maybe it's under tools. There's some preferences. There it is, configuration, utilities. I don't remember. I would guess configuration.
I think it's under edit and settings or preferences.
Preferences, I like that one. Okay, so now we have to find something about SQL. I like that one. And there it is. The default target is set to version 8.
we gotta fix that. So what we can do is pop here. Can we just change that? No problem. It'll
Yeah.
know.
Right.
Well, thanks to the people who coded this. All right.
Okay.
And it is InnoDB still. Okay.
Okay. Now I bet we're going to get success this time.
Now when we go to Forward Engineer, it should be looking for that version. So let's see what happens with the statement here. Right here, visible is no longer there.
Very good.
And what does that mean for index?
Yeah.
What's the issue with it being visible?
You know, that's a good question. And I honestly don't know what it is, but it sounds to me like it's it reminds me of like a public or a private kind of a preference to be able to be seen by other tables or something.
Okay. And maybe it's just like a default setting. You don't need to state it in this, or the old version, or maybe now you do. I don't know. I'm guessing.
I think you're probably right. So apparently it just synchronized just fine.
Yeah.
No errors. Okay, so let's go back and see what's going on in your structure. Okay, so right now you're looking at the tables. So we need to go up one level.
To maybe just go to Commerce site. There we go. There it is. User
Okay,
table.
so let's check out the orders table and see what it looks like. And structure, there should be a foreign key. Yep, this
That's
is
the
user.
foreign key.
And it does have a little key next to it.
That's the index.
That's very cool. So now let's test it out, see if it works. Go ahead and create a new, or I guess you go to insert here. Up on the top is insert. And let's create a new order. So we don't have to create the ID number. It's going to automatically create it for us. But let's give it a date. So pick a date. It has a date picker icon next to
there we
it.
go. Still with that.
Okay. And then
Okay.
which user are we going to use? There's also a browse button over on the side. Oh, we don't have any users yet.
Right.
So let's create a user first. So go back to the other table and create a user.
Oh, first go to the. All right, so we'll cancel out of this.
Does order need a name, or it'll just be those three?
I'm in the orders table. I need to get out of the orders table, into the users table, insert a user. That'll be populated. Username. We'll do Frank. Password is Frank. Email frank@frank.com. Just so later on when I have it checking if it's a legit email, I don't have any problems. Okay.
Okay, click
That
to
should be
go.
good.
Yep. Okay, so it says there's been one row inserted.
Cool. And now I can pop into my here, go to orders, insert, and then I have to give it the value.
No, not that one.
Oh, just the ID probably, right?
We don't. We're going to let it create its own ID.
Oh, okay.
So the order number is automatically generated. Now the date, we need to set a date.
Because this is we'll make it tomorrow day. It's a future
I thought
order.
that was the first row, right?
You can use it gives you two options. You can do it the top row or the second row.
Oh, these are both the same. So I could.
Yeah, so you can do either place.
Well,
Okay,
all right, they made it tomorrow.
Okay, and then now notice the user ID has now got a drop-down menu. So the next guy, no, not that one. No, over.
Right,
there you go.
I'm implementing
Now
values.
you get to pick Frank. Yeah.
Frank,
Go ahead and
one.
choose go.
Oh,
Uh-oh, what happened?
incorrect date.
Didn't
Maybe
like
because
date.
I chose a future date.
How about that? So it didn't like date time. Why is that? Something wrong with the format on date time. Let's go up to the.
Maybe it's because you created the orders table while you were at 8.0.
That could be. How about go up
Yeah.
and just choose? There's a drop-down menu to the left of here. What's that all about? Okay, let's try current date maybe and see what that does. Okay, so obviously the date format is incorrect. How about just erase then the time that's printed there. Just do the date.
Like this right here, leave it as is.
Or just delete half of what was there. You know, take out the time part. Just do the 20.
26, just like that.
Let's see if he likes that any better.
Negative.
Oh, no, it doesn't. Incorrect date time value.
Oh,
Oh,
your
you know,
second one is you have to make it null.
you notice it says that the error is not what we're doing on the top row. It
It's the
says
bottom one.
it's row 2. It says it's blank. You can't do that. It says for some reason.
Yeah, just go on the second row.
How about in the second, Gary? There's a checkbox that says ignore. So we're not going to put in a second date. We're just going to do the first one. Hey, okay, he's liking that one better. Okay, now go ahead and browse the table, see if there's any new data.
Look at that. Just put the zeroed out time. So it has the date.
It automatically populated the time because of how you have it set.
Yeah. So it was a midnight. And you notice the user's ID is set to 1.
Mm-hmm.
So let's make another user and see if we can create another order. So
Okay. Let's go here.
make a new person besides Frank. We need to have a couple.
All right. We need a different Frank. All right.
About Frankie.
Frankie? Oh, that's confusing. Trying to troubleshoot this. It's going to be all messed up.
There you go. Okay, so we got Mike this time.
All right. We'll go with that.
Okay, now go to make another order, and when you create a new order, you should be able to have a choice of 2 different users now.
Okay, we're ignoring this one. Let's try. I don't know. Call me crazy. Is that going to give me a problem?
No, this is great. So,
oh, not Mike. Yeah, Mike. Mike's going to be
Mike's going to get the order. Very good.
There we go. That's it. Okay. And then if I look at browse, oh, look, and this time we got the time, actually, the legitimate time.
Okay.
And then there's their IDs. So is that how it looks if I browse my other table?
We'll find out. Yeah.
Commerce, users, and look, yeah, that's matching the IDs that they're given for them. Cool.
Hey, Shad, I might be moving forward a little bit too quick, but how would we apply this SQL statement to our page?
Like if you wanted to like select a bunch of orders.
Yeah, like on an e-commerce page, let's say, Raymond, you've got 6 items on your page and you select one. How do you apply this that you've done to that? How would we apply that?
So I think what you're asking about is how to join tables when you do a select statement. Is that right?
I think so. I'm not quite.
I guess I also kind of have a similar question because I already have a quote unquote like a database like access PHP on mine, and it's just connecting to like a fake DB I made, which is like a text file. I'm kind of curious how I can transition from that text file to the MySQL.
Okay, so if you have text files, you're going to have to do what's called imports, where you do you import a whole bunch of rows that are in a special comma delimited format. So
I'm okay with ignoring the text file just because it's I just used it to practice doing the register and also the login.
Yeah. Okay, let me take control of your desktop. I want to show you what you would do with this. Can you?
Yep.
So I went to the SQL tab, and you can see that there is a statement that says select, and it gives us a default. So if I click the Go button, it's going to show me the results that I selected all the users. So it says showing 2 rows. Now, what if I want to show more than that? So if I want to say, I want to select star from users, and I also want to show their, I want to show some more things. So for instance, I want to select, what do we got? ID, username, password. Is there anything else? Doesn't look like it. So those are the only three. So I'm gonna try to do that. I get this exact same results.
Okay.
But now I want to do a little bit more. Oh, rats, lost them all. Let me type it again. ID, username, password. And there's a check mark around here that says retain query box there.
Oh,
So,
useful.
yeah, so now I also want to do a join. So if I want to join the other table, what was that called? Orders?
Mm-hmm.
Orders on, and then where the foreign key joins together. So orders dot user's ID is going to equal the users table dot ID.
Mm-hmm.
So what this means is that now I have created this join. I can add more columns over here. So for instance, if I put a comma and I put in orders dot, and now I can put in other things such as the order ID. I can put in orders dot date, and let's see what happens. So I'm going to retain this and go.
What is the where one? What is the?
Oh, this where one is. Let's say I wanted to do where I sort something. Where I want to say where the user. Let's see the user ID. Let's see.
Like username equal to Frank or something.
Yeah, if I just wanted to say show me just Frank stuff, I could do that. If I put where one, it means always true. If I don't put a where at all, it'll just select everybody.
Okay.
So I'm just going to leave where out. And let's go. Column ID is ambiguous. Okay, so it says you selected ID over here, and it says it's ambiguous because I don't know if that's going to be the ID number of the order or the user. So let's go to users.id, and no longer ambiguous. It is. It should be better now. Okay. So now this is called a join, and it says when I have the results, I get the first three columns, and then I also get two more. I get the date, and it says ID 7 and 8.
The order ID. Huh?
Are the order IDs at 7 and 8?
I don't think so. I'll be surprised. I mean,
Let's
I thought
go
it was
find.
1 and 2.
Yeah, I would have expected 1 and 2, but let's go check it out. So I'm going to go over to this guy. Go check out the orders.
okay.
There they are. They are number 7 and 8. Okay,
I don't know.
it didn't lie. All right, so there you go. So that's how to set up a foreign key. Now I think we're getting ahead of ourselves. This is probably coming up in future lessons, but this is a huge part of running any kind of an e-commerce website. Is you got multiple tables.